Good morning, Gig Harbor. Welcome to part 3 in the How to Tournament Silph League. Today we're going to go over pre-registration for your cup that you're looking to enter. So the first things first, we've decided which Pokemon we want to use. We've nicknamed them for easy sorting. Used any of our resources, Stardust, Rare Candies, TMs, anything that you've been able to justify using to get the team where you want it to be. So we're going to move on to pre-registering or checking in for a tournament. So the first thing you want to do is come to the silphroad.com here. I'll link that in the description for easy viewing. And you'll want to register my card here. This is going to be what all the leagues are based of. It's going to keep track of your rankings. It's going to keep lots of information. It'll do a little more than that outside of PvP. There's actually a lot of information here which we'll kind of scan through real quick. So you go through and register, and then once you do, it'll come to this authenticate page. I do mine through my Gmail, so I'm going to go ahead and move this off screen so my email account isn't written out there for the entire world. Get signed in here. So once you're signed in, you'll come up to this page. All your information will be blank, of course, but this is your card up here at the top. You can hit the edit here, put in your name, your team, which selection of Pokemon that you enjoy. What kind of gameplay you're actually into. Unfortunately, PvP is not on there for some reason, but whatever. This is just for fun, so whatever you want to do with that, you can do. Save details. Before we move on to the next step, this site's really useful if you've never been here before. You can see the menu items along the top. You can go Pokédex. I'll just show you all the Pokies available. Eggs is very useful as it'll show you what is currently hatching from which kind of eggs. So it'll give you an idea of what you actually want to incubate and get going. The current raids, and it's got them color-coded for how easily they are to beat, what size group you might need. So you see the color codes here, and then a table here on the left telling you exactly what the color coding means. My favorite tab here, the tasks, where you can see what Pokemon rewards are from which tasks. It's very useful. You can also change it to all tasks to show more than just Pokemon. So if they've got a reward such as charge TMs, which are very useful for PvP, or like the rare candies here, you can kind of track on those. I usually keep it to Pokemons only though. You've also got the Nest Atlas, which is very useful if you're looking for something in particular. I'll show you where a Ponyta nest is hiding. The gray ones are usually ones that haven't been verified, or it's showing the last Pokemon that was reported there. The colored ones are usually the current ones, so that's very useful. You've also got the league map here, which will show you where discords might be in your area. So if you're looking to join a new discord, you've got several around you. But we're worried about PvP, so we're going to go back to my card here. So this will be the base of operations here. Once you get this all squared away, you'll actually want to go to a different website. It's the silph.gg, also located in the description here, and log in. We're going to authenticate with the Silphroad account, which will bring you to the same page, and it's just going to have you do it again to verify it's you. So we'll get that done. And here we go. So this is basically your tournament page here. you'll see any tournaments you're currently registered for or checked into or interested in up here in these green banners. You'll also see some of them listed here, the ones that generally haven't started yet. You've got your local tournament map, which is great if you're looking for a tournament to go to in your local area, or maybe you're out of town for work or whatnot. You can come here and see where there's tournaments near you. So we'll click on this one for Tacoma here. Shows you what day it's looking at. You click on details, it'll actually give you the time, date started, who's currently registered to it. So you can actually register your team for that if you like. You've got the check-in at tournament, which is if you already have a code, you can come here, type in the code directly to it, and it'll just take you directly to the home page. You've got the leaderboards, which we'll cover in the next video. And then you've also got your card here. So if you click on this, it'll take you back to the Silph Road website to take a look at your card, or you can actually click opt out of rankings. So if you don't really care to be ranked, this will basically just take you out of that whole mapping. Anyways, but we want to get checked into a tournament, so I've got a code for one of my remote leagues here. We're going to go down to check in at tournament, and we will type in code, and it'll bring you to this page where you can where you're going to select your Pokemon. Now when you select on this, you're going to enter your Pokemon into the bubble here, and you can actually type it in. So we're going to go ahead and put Altaria in here. I started typing Altaria, but Altaria doesn't come up. And that is because this is actually a Jungle Cup tournament, so Altaria is not one of the ones that are available. So we will resort to our Jungle Cup team that we've been working on. And let's go ahead and try Wigglytuff, and there it is. So go Wigglytuff, 1498. Great. Down to, gotta actually click in the field for it to actually work. 1496. And on down the line. So you type in Golem there. As you may know, you have a Alolan Golem, a regular Golem. Alolan Golem qualifies for this tournament, but regular Golem does not, as it is missing that electrical typing. So it'll only give you the one to choose from here. The only time that might be a problem is if you've mistakenly powered up a regular Golem and you select Alolan Golem in the list here, but you're actually using a regular Golem. That would actually be a mistake, and if someone caught on to it or saw that you were using something out of the grouping, it would require you to basically forfeit all your matches. So you want to make sure you know what you're selecting here. Don't want to give anybody any easy wins. Alright, so it's very easy, especially if you're doing this from a cell phone, to mistype something. There's been several times where I've input my items and then gone back to the CP and saw that I had typed in 1294 or 1224 or just something off. So once you get it all in, you definitely want to go back and make sure. So we got Wigglytuff 1498, Vigoroth 96, Golem, Alolan variety 94, Cradily, whatever you want to call it, 1494, Masquerain 82, Breloom is 80. Great. So we'll come down here to the bottom, and you got a checkbox here for full impact on my player rank, check or uncheck. What this does basically is the themed cups have a higher ranking impact on your your overall global ranking. So you can compete in up to, well, as many as you'd like of the Jungle Cup this month. The first one you compete in, if you have this check mark on, will basically be worth 10 times what a regular cup would normally be. The next one you compete in, if you keep this checked, it'll be 9 times. The next one will be 8 times. The next one will be 7 times, and so on and so forth. Once you've competed in 10 Jungle Cups, it's just going to be regular, just like you were doing freestyle. There's no weighting. There's no increase or decrease other than what would normally be, if that makes sense. So the first one of the month, the first one you participate in, is going to be the one that affects your ranking the most, basically. As you saw on the page before this, I'm actually involved in a few cups remotely, so whichever one of those finishes first will be the one that's weighted 10 times, and so on and so forth. It doesn't matter if I start this one a week after the other ones, but it still finishes first. This will be the one that counts most. So you can decide if you want to check that or not check that. I know a lot of people that go to tournaments that might be a little more competitive as their first tournament, and they'll actually check this off so it doesn't count as the big multiplier, and they'll wait to have their local tournament where maybe the competition's a little more even and they have a better chance of doing well, and they'll use that as their first one, and the more heavily weighted. So I just keep them all checked because the ranking overall doesn't matter a ton to me. It is what it is. You know, some months I do well, some months I don't do well. The ranking, nobody's paying me to do this, so it doesn't really affect my life that much. So I just keep them all checked, and wherever the rankings fall, they fall. So we're going to go ahead and click Enter Tournament here, and you can see your team available. Until you can see the status up here, it says checking in or waiting to start. As long as the tournament hasn't started yet, you can come down to Edit My Team. It'll take you back to your team page and say we want to get Wigglytuff out of here because Wigglytuff annoys me. We're going to go with Raichu. Now you can see both flavors of Raichu are available. I'm going to go ahead and go with a Alolan variety. Make sure we change the CP to the 1495. We'll come back down here. You have to press enter the tournament again to save any of the changes. There's been a couple of times where I've just made the change and then got distracted and backed out or whatever and was stuck with the Wigglytuff being on the team. Okay, so we got our team all set here. You can go to View Participants List, and it'll show you who's currently checked into this tournament. While the check-in is happening, you will not be able to see any of the teams, but once the tournament actually starts, you'll see everybody's teams. So let's see if we can find an example of that here. So let's see, we'll go to Release the Jungle Beasts here. This one has not started yet. We'll go to View Participant List. As you can see everybody who has pre-registered. You can also see ones that have marked for RSVP but haven't actually registered anything yet. But all of their team fields are blank. Let's see if we can find one that has already started here. July Jungle Rumble. There we go. Nope, I'm waiting for opponent on that. While you're waiting for opponent, unfortunately you can't see the entirety of the participants list, which is a little annoying, but whatever. So here we go, TRB Remote. This is a free-for-all. So go to View Participant List. As you can see what the bracket looks like. Change it over to points to see who's winning on points. But the tournament started, so you can actually see all the competitors who are in there and the entirety of their team. So it's nice in between matches. You can kind of try and predict who you're going to go up next and maybe have a few extra minutes to prepare. Predicting who you're up against next is actually, it can be done. fairly easily, but we're going to wait on the next video to go over all of that. But go back to where we were here to, was it Pewter 7? So there we are. We are all checked in, waiting for the start of this particular tournament. And that's it. You wait for the clock to tick and go and sweep everybody and take home the trophy. Hopefully. In the next video, we're going to go over the start of the tournament. Hopefully I'm going to time this up right to where I have a few matchups for you. We can go over how to record the matchups, what to do next while you're waiting for everybody else to finish up, and preparing for your next go. But that is all for today. If you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up in Discord, or you can leave a comment on the video, and I will see you next time. See ya.